we should be live on YouTube. And I will shut that down.
Beautiful.
There we go. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
I think that might have been our quickest in on YouTube. Slick, hopefully. Nothing's in the
It's
background.
it's a fine art.
It is. I've realised I have full appreciation now for people that do this a lot. I've been watching people go live on YouTube so much, and I didn't realise how press all the buttons in the right order. So, hello everybody, for those who are watching. I am Ashley, and I am joined here with my gorgeous friend Monica. And we are getting together every Wednesday to have a chat about wellness, water, and all the ways that we are breaking out of the system that we are led to believe is good for us, which actually turns out it might not be. So, we're just investigating all the different ways that we have experienced that may have led to more wellness. And a little intro to me, I am Ashley. I used to work for Big Pharma and I've always been into holistic health, but I got kind of pulled down the dark side into corporate, given shiny new cars and all that kind of stuff when I was 20. And it was a lovely experience to go in the kind of seeing it from the inside and really investigating and looking at clinical papers and looking at all these drugs that I was meant to sell and asking questions that often couldn't be answered or I used to be told, well, you don't need to know that, that's fine, because they won't ask you that, so you just go that way and deflect and tell them this information. Really interesting. So now I have seen the light, I escaped, and I'm now a yoga therapist and yoga teacher and sound healing therapist as well. And I have collaborated with the gorgeous Monica, and we met in person and we met online. We were those online friends, but actually met in person. And we vibed together. So I'll hand you over to Monica and she can tell you a little bit about her if you're new to us.
Thank you, Ashley. So I was a bedside nurse. I was a bedside nurse for about 10 years, and I have been in the energetic realm since I was like 20. So I actually became a nurse because I wanted to deepen my understanding of the human body, and I also wanted to make money. I wanted to make money to be able to provide for my kids. I'm a single mom of three, and I am keenly aware of how the system hooks you and gives you just enough to keep you hooked, but keep you in your sympathetic nervous system so that you get to live on the hamster wheel and do the same thing over and over again every day of your life. And most of us don't actually break out of that system. And Ashley and I we have broken out of the system and in one way or another. And now we are here vibing in the middle of the day. Well, it's like 4 o'clock for her, 11 o'clock for me on a weekday, and not pushing pills or slaving away at the bedside. So that's a little bit about my story. And I'm super excited to be here and inspire as much as possible those people who feel a calling to break out of the system and live life differently and do it in a way that not only serves yourself and your own family, but also serves the world in a huge way. And it has everything to do with water. So we're going to share with you some kind of intuitive magic that came through before we hopped on this live around water, and then stay to the end for an exclusive invite to to basically an information session where we're going to share with you the problem and the solution that we have found that has absolutely changed our lives and is allowing us to make a massive impact on the world, on humanity, and on the planet herself. Let's chitty chat about this magic that is water. And I'm going to pass it over to Ashley to kind of open up this conversation about water and really encourage you all to engage in the comments and ask questions that come up for you. If we say something that triggers you or brings up some sort of magic for you, we really want you to share it in the comments, because the more that you engage with this post, we're all in a grid. We're all in energetic grids, and we get to choose like what grids am I going to plug into and what grids am I going to unplug from. And so for me, the first step was, who am I engaging with in the online space? Who am I engaging with on a daily basis? And so you say yes to this and engage with us, the magic gets to flow. That's what we're inviting in. We're like, imagine we are inviting in the flow of magic, the flow of water, the flow of expansion. So Ashley,
Sounds amazing. You went a bit glitchy then when you said out the grid, and it sort of went all. And I don't know if you saw that or whether that was just
I
my end.
didn't. I love
Oh, how
that.
interesting. I look at the recording and see what happened. What was the trigger word?
I love that.
Um, so it sounds like a big thing, doesn't it? Like escaping from, beyond the system and getting out of the system. But this is just like little baby steps, isn't it? There's so many different ways. You don't have to like, I'm released, let's go, and change everything all at once. These are little changes, but they actually are massive changes over time. So we're talking food and water are the biggest changes that you can make in terms of what you're putting in your body, your thoughts. There's so many things that you can change that once you start to awaken to the system and what you're stuck in and which grid you're playing in, you can make these tiny little changes, and you're kind of putting your foot over there and experimenting. So it's we're talking about water mostly because we are 70-80% water. Apparently, that our heads are over 80% water. Down below is kind of over 70% water. And our DNA, I found out today, is 90% water, which I find fascinating. Because if we are literally made up of water, and water has consciousness and water holds memory, then we are we are so wise. We have so much wisdom if we're putting the right water in our bodies. And when I say the right water, I mean not contaminated, not kind of squished and pushed and abused through rotten, rusty pipes. And we're talking hydrogen rich, um, lovely spring water that has got all the electrolytes in it, all the energy. Everything is energy, light, water. And if you can put that in your body, it makes such a difference. And just from my own experience, since I've been lucky enough to drink Kangen water, I say lucky, I made the choice, right? I made the choice to invest in myself after years of thinking about it and trying to pick holes in every single part of this business opportunity and the water itself. And I couldn't find anything wrong with it. And I was like, what am I waiting for? What am I waiting for? And then I was really lucky to have some Kangen water gifted to me by a local friend. And I can't even put a word, I can't put my words to it really. I don't even know what happened, but something happened, something shifted, something opened up, and I had the means all of a sudden to invest in myself. And I think it was to do with the confidence. And I think it came from the clarity that the water gave me. And it's as simple as that. And the clarity that fresh, unpolluted, unabused water in your body, you come back to where you're supposed to be, right? We're also constantly fighting poisons and fighting toxins, because that's kind of what we're used to putting in our body because we think it's normal. But actually, once you step away from that and look at everything and be more conscious about what you actually put in your mouth, not even on your mouth, on your skin, what you're bathing in, what you're rubbing on your skin, what you're eating, drinking, it's it's quite scary actually how much we absorb that isn't good for us, and it does have an effect, and we blame it on everything else like being busy, and it's easy to blame stress and fear because everyone is also programmed to be stressed because, like you said, the hamster wheel, we need to kind of keep going, so you're not even conscious of what's going on your body, your skin.
Yeah, and you don't have the capacity. It's like They want to rip away our capacity to even make a change because we're so in our sympathetic nervous system, we're so dehydrated, chronically dehydrated. We're so full of toxins from all the boxed foods.
Yeah,
So interesting.
it is really interesting. And
Yeah.
once you get some space and that clarity, it actually has blown my mind how different I feel. And I've always been healthy, I've always looked after myself. I feel like I've always been conscious, not perfect, nobody is. We still eat and drink odd things that probably aren't good for us. However, it's a balance, right? I'm not stressed anymore. I'm not in my sympathetic nervous system all the time worrying about what people think, worrying about what my boss thinks, worrying about, if I've done the right thing. And it makes such a difference. And it's all a bit
Yeah.
of a journey, isn't it? And these tiny little steps and looking at your water and food is so simple. It really is
Yeah.
simple. It
Okay,
doesn't.
so I love this kind of micro perspective that you're bringing, and now I want to macro perspective it. Okay, so what comes through when you're sharing that, Ashley, and thank you so much. That's super helpful. I love everything that you just shared because it really highlights for us the way in which our electrons are stolen. Okay,
Mhm.
so everything that you're talking about, the polluted water that we're drinking, the box foods that we're eating, the negative environments that we're exposing ourselves to, work environments, it's all stealing our electrons, and that's life force,
Yeah.
right? And so when Ashley talks about this Kangen water, it's living water. So it's restoring those electrons, right? So all the oxidative stress, the world is literally stealing our electrons, and we're not replenishing them, right? And so if we can access water that actually replenishes them, then wow, like chef's kiss, what a difference it makes.
It really
I've
does.
been saying
Wow.
that a lot lately. Okay, now to macro perspective it, I want you to think about what we have done as a collective to our water sources. And so we're going to go back and like Roman times, I don't know, maybe even before that, but them damn Romans, I swear. Okay, anyway. So I want you to look at like what the Romans did. Like they took the water that people had free access to and they closed it up. They dammed it, they piped it. Maybe not. Yeah, they did actually even pipe. I actually just saw something about uh, pipes. There was a picture of Roman pipes that were still in existence, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they piped it, they dammed it, they quarried it, they put it into narrow, dirty, you know, beds, not beds, but I'm trying to say, like, I don't know, like channels,
Channels.
that's it. They channeled it, they took it and they channeled it. And so, like, if we look at, okay, yeah, like they were trying to make things convenient. No, they weren't. There was an ulterior motive, and we won't go into the big galactic perspective, the galactic history of humanity and all of the infiltration, all that bullshit, because I don't want to fear monger, and that's a whole nother conversation. But really, if you do the research and you look at the why of the why around why our water was taken and intentionally harnessed and taken as a free resource, it was all very whack, y'all. Like it was whack, the reasons that they did it. Now I want you to think about too the money talk. Like the way we talk about money has everything to do with water,
Mhm.
right? Currency, bank, I don't know, drop some more words. What? Fluid assets,
Um,
liquid assets.
Also, when you are birthed by a doctor, the doc. It's fascinating, and all the water
I
that
got
you're
chills.
birthed into, because you're born in water. You're born in water. There must be a natural water connection that you need that water. We see everything through water because water covers our eyes. We see everything through water. Water is literally eh, everything. That's
Yeah,
how you see.
yeah.
There are so many. Oh my God, there's loads of those, but I can't remember them now off the top of my
Yeah.
head.
Well,
But
we think we dropped enough to make the
yeah,
point, right? So the powers that were, okay, they take our water that is like the most abundant natural resource. Like we talk about the human body, and yes, we are predominantly water, and so is the earth. And so, wow, what a great idea. What a great shitty idea for them to take control of the water. and literally take control of humanity,
Hmm.
taking control of what we are. I mean, that was like an epic way to control control humanity. And so they're still doing it. Okay, right? Like they're still doing it. We
And
see it's almost like I feel like when you look back at humanity to a certain point, especially like you look at the industrial revolution and like we're still burning coal and shit, it just feels so archaic. It's like the progression of humanity, it was so stifled. I'm going to say it was like halted, you
mhm.
know? And now here we are today, really living in the greatest time to be alive. Like if you are watching this, you're alive and you said yes to living at this time where we are being called to restructure everything. And that takes an enormous amount of grit and determination. And not everyone's up for it. And that's cool. Not everyone's up for it. But that's what this conversation is about, is it's about, do you feel the call to help the world make the shift, not only in your own life, but collectively for humanity and also for the earth? You know, because when we can find a way to harness the abundance of water, to harness the healing ability of water, oh my gosh, we have cracked the code. We've literally cracked the code. And
Or
Ashley and
taking the
I,
code back.
taken the code back, remembered the
Yeah.
truth of the code.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's just come to me, like you talk about, it doesn't have to be fear mongering at all, but it's taking your control back. Because if I'm just thinking about when we were all locked in, and if you are locked in, your what's the one thing that you can control is people's water that is coming into the house where you're locked in. Like you want to take control of that, right? Because who are you testing it all the time? Do you
Mommy,
know what you're doing?
Mommy, I found my bucket
Oh my.
and also I found my beach spade.
Hi.
Spade is not actually my sand.
Oh, it's a new one. Amazing.
Look,
Oh, I'm so pleased. Alto's.
with a yellow spade
It's
and
water
a
chat.
rate and a sip.
That's amazing. Go and see. I'm going to finish up soon and then I'll come and play with you, okay? Because we're on.
What is this?
Go. That's from Floaty Boaty. Well, like
Epic.
he knows we're talking about water, right? He's got his buckets
Mhm.
playing, so we're going on
Called
holiday.
him.
He's found his boat. We called him in. There we go. So, being able to control the water that comes into your house, I think that is so powerful. And I kind of, part of me wanted to make sure that I can do that. And this isn't like there's loads of filters that you can buy, and people have filters nowadays because they're starting to realize what's in the tap water. However, this is different, isn't it, Monica? This is another upgrade. If you're filtering your water already, brilliant, but you're upgrading this to give your electrons the power back, right? And your clarity.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, people really poo poo the importance of water.
Hmm.
We poo poo in the water and we poo poo the water.
Because
Okay.
it's so abundant in
Yeah.
theory.
Yeah. And actually, I remember in the past, being so overwhelmed with thoughts of water quality.
Mm.
Like I literally didn't know what to do. And so this is when I asked. I was like, you know, God, what am I supposed to do about my water source? Because I had a water source that I thought was a good water source. Is actually drinking reverse osmosis, which is not good. It will leach the nutrients out of your bones. Like, don't drink
Minerals.
RO. You need to research that if you're drinking it. I drank it for years thinking I was doing the right thing. And then we moved and we couldn't take that with us. And then I asked God, I was like, what am I supposed to do? And I remember being in so much fear because I've got kids and like I want my kids to drink good living water. And that's when I found this. That's when I found Kangen water. And I was like, what? Okay, I hear you. But my point is, you know, we sometimes we can go into overwhelm and then we just don't think about it, right? You just like sweep it under the rug. And I think that's what I did for years. But you know, if you can make one shift for your health, the number one shift to make is water. And how do we know this? Like, how do we know this water is the best water? Because there are thousands of research articles behind it on Google Scholar and PubMed. It's called electrolyzed reduced water. This is the water that is abundant in just a few places around the world. Now, it used to be everywhere, right? Until they effed up our water system. But those places in the world are called blue zones. And one of them is Okinawa. Okinawa is Japanese And it is the birthplace of this water ionizer, okay, that makes Kangen water. And this is called the land of the immortals. So what we see in these blue zones around the world is that they are the healthiest and they live the longest. And the common denominator for all these places in the world that are blue zones is not the food they're eating, it's the water they're drinking. It's hydrogen rich. It's naturally occurring electrolyzed reduced water. And so what has happened is 20 plus years ago, Mr. Oshiro, who's an amazing man, the owner of this company, he created a water machine with a group of scientists that puts water back into its living state by moving it through a certain process. I won't go into that, but it's a little magic machine that you sit on your countertop and you hook it in to your tap. It's that simple. You don't need a plumber. Trust, I did it myself. Ashley knows. She did it herself, okay? And it restructures the water. It restructures the water so that your body actually recognizes it, and it gives your body the electrons that it needs that the rest of the world is stealing from your body. And it changes everything. When you are nourishing your body with living water, the shift is uncanny. Like I can't even go on vacation without this machine because I feel the oxidative stress in my body. When I go on vacation, I don't have it. Like, I'm a water snob. I won't go anywhere without my machine.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I can take it with me when I go away. I need to check that it should connect. I just need to find the adapters, which are easy because it all comes with that. So,
how are you traveling? I forget. How are you traveling?
Driving. It'll be in my van.
Okay. Girl, you know what? If you don't take your machine, I'm coming for you.
Oh, I love that.
I'm coming for you.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh,
Yeah,
shoot.
I will. So, and remind us what Kangen means as well. Isn't that return to origin?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. See,
It
and
is.
maybe origin, there is a massive, a bigger conversation here, but we've both heard recently that somebody has linked return to origin. Maybe the water is actually God.
Oh, yes.
Isn't that like something to think about?
Yeah, I have chills
Yeah,
all over.
it's consciousness, isn't it? It's energy, and it is the energy that runs through us and everything. It's the one thing that connects everything. And how
Yeah.
interesting to find to think about the water that you're drinking today, how where it's been. Like where has it been? Everywhere. It's fascinating.
It is
I am now
magical.
snob. I always have been, but I found the one. And this isn't a new thing either, is it? This is not a new wellness fad. This is a 51-year-old company, nearly.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and it has 51 years of success and the abundance that goes with it, which we can talk to you more about tomorrow. I'll let Monica tell you about what we're going to do tomorrow. If this conversation kind of has hooked you in, or you're interested and you'll want to find out how this can actually expand everything for you, not just your consciousness, not just your wellness, it links to everything, doesn't it?
It does link to everything. It really does. And so tomorrow, what we're going to be sharing is how Kangen water has changed our lives, not only from a health perspective, but from a community and income perspective. And we're going to share the magic. Like, what is the magic of the water? Why is this water different? How can it serve you? How can it support the healing of your body? How can it cleanse your home of all toxic chemicals? And how can you, if you choose to, tap into this as an income source to allow you to break away from maybe what you're currently doing that you don't love? But know that even if you don't feel like you desire to create an epic stream of income in the online space, even though we have all the support that you need, if that's not something that resonates with you, just the investment of the water in the water itself is a complete no-brainer. And the most amazing investment that you can make, that a return on investment is 100% guaranteed, even without sharing the water with anyone else in the world. Just sharing it with your own family, the return on investment is guaranteed. that's why this opportunity is so epic. So tomorrow specifically, we're going to share with you, what are the predominant problems in the world connected to water and income. We're going to share that with you. And why do we hold the solution? What are the problems with our health and how is that connected to water? And how do we hold the solution? What are the problems with the financial system and that continued rat race and how we just seem to get stuck in this cycle of overspending and constant consumerism? And how do we hold the solution for that? So it's going to be an epic conversation. We're going to be as giggly and soft about it as possible, with also being as clear and concise as possible. And it's going to be fun. So if you want to come and check it out, it's actually going to be in a private Zoom link and in a private Facebook group called Water Empresses. And so Ashley will link below the Facebook group, and she'll also link the Zoom link so that if you want to just come to the private Zoom room, you can do that. That's going to be happening tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. UK time. So set your alarms and come play with us, and just come learn, come with an open mind, and come check it out.
Yeah, no obligation, but really interesting to find out more information. I love these webinars, and that's how I'm here today. So it's an opportunity, isn't it? Opportunity you don't want to miss. Come and see us again.
Yes, it'll be fun. Awesome. Well, thank you. This has been fun as usual.
Again, I love it. So we'll see you tomorrow if you are watching this live. Otherwise, let us know down below. Get in touch with me or pop in the comments if you want the link or the recording tomorrow, if you're watching this in a month's time. It's always going to be there. So just get in touch if this conversation has sparked a little bit of something in you. Trust your instincts.
Yes.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
See you soon.
Have a good day.